session where he will be discussing about postdoctoral fellowships and other grants that the researchers can take. Over to you, sir.
Wait a minute, ma'am. Is my screen being shared, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yeah.
Yes.
All little fellowships, but very, very productive and useful for the youngsters, especially those who are in the age group of 35 to 45. I will like to highlight them. Because I was just during tea time, I was looking at the profile, and almost 70 to 80% of the names were familiar, and I could make out where are they working. Friends, I will request you that if you have not undertaken any, and I am being blunt, honest, straightforward. If you have not done any project till today, there is always this initial hitch, inertia. But you have to start somewhere. How to start that? Take my words, take my request. Get an exposure to a research project from a multilateral funding agency. I'll give you an example. Somebody in US is doing a project on socio-economic status in developing countries. He is based in US. There is no way he will come here and collect data, and he wants to do the primary part of the research. Then obviously he will be scouting for people like you who are sitting in the heartland and help him to collect the data. Such type of projects are known as sponsored projects. They are by MFPO, multilateral funded projects overseas. MFPO, multilateral funded projects overseas. I'll give you an example, real life example. We have a National Health Mission program. We have Prime Minister's dream project, e-governance. We have this government's ambitious plans on smart cities, 100 smart cities. By God's grace, I am associated with all three, so I can share with you certain details. Welcome, Madam Harleen. Welcome. So, what are these projects? These projects are being managed by Government of India, but are being funded by the World Bank. Right? So, one is that Government of India wants to undertake surveys and find out the efficacy, effectiveness, efficiency of these projects. Because you are a lender, when you give money, will you not like to have an independent view also? So what do? You assign this task to somebody. Hypothetically, I'm saying in UK. Hypothetically, I say in Switzerland. He has to monitor a National Health Mission program in Rampura Phool. How will he do it? So he will scout in the net and find out who all are the active researchers who are working in Talwandi Sabo, Rampura Phool, that belt. And first name which will come to mind is Vikas. Why? Because you have shown your inclination towards that. So a question will be agitating you how to go about it. Two ways. Just Google the list of World Bank projects in India. You will get a list of around 700 plus projects, currently 700 plus projects. And I'm talking of 200, 300 crores plus. Potable water, rural national health mission, projects on Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, rural sanitation, so many of them. solar power, traffic signaling. All these I have some way down the line, some component of international support. Now what you have to do? I suppose I find out that there is a project on Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, which is being funded by the World Bank. Go to the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, there will be list of consultants available on their site because it's a transparent system. Approach that consultant and tell him, I am a researcher, this is my profile, this is my biodata, this is my keenness, this is my USP. I will like to be associated with you as a co-investigator. इतनी बड़ी छाल ना मारिए कि खुद कंसल्टेंट बनिए, एक बार एडवाइजर ही बन के देख लीजिए. Now, my promise to you is, if you have been able to do wonderful well, you will be known as king of that particular belt in terms of research. Whenever our common friend Mahesh Joshi wants some information, because we are doing a lot of collaborative projects, recently we applied for a Spark, SPARC project for 7.5 crores. First thing which came to his mind was Sanjeev Sharma. Why? Because he knows that Sanjeev Sharma is doing work on e-governance. And project he wanted to submit it was e-governance. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, sir, initial projects लेने के लिए आपको कहीं ना कहीं किसी established player के साथ piggyback करना ही पड़ेगा. The day you say that you have grown up on your own, you are out of the shell, then you are free to apply for your own. But I will not request you in the beginning. Get hold of a person, and let's be very clear, sir. Most of the projects have only 25 to 30% data collection expenses. An international traveler will not like to visit interiors of Punjab or Haryana to get that data. उसको तो कहीं आपसे ही लोगों की जरूरत है. अब वो भी नहीं कर सकते या नहीं करना चाहते. There is another option. There is another option. Please visit the website of ICSSR. Suppose I'm a consultant in, say, Denmark, and I'm studying something on dairy, milk. What will I do? Either I will find out that who all are the persons working in the dairy technology in this belt, or I will write to the apex agency in India, that is ICSSR. So what will ICSSR do? It will post your requirement on its website. Now, onus is upon you now to contact them. This is how our common friend Professor Tajinder Sharma got a project on dairy. I was very pleasantly surprised. In 2002, when nobody had heard about e-governance, Professor Tajinder Sharma wrote an article in 2002. I'm saying 18 years back. E-governance word ही नहीं सुना था किसी ने. He wrote an article in Indian Journal of Public Administration. What happened? It was very innovative, very unique. Government of India constituted a team on e-reforms. Haryana government picked up Tajinder ji, and he is a consultant on in Haryana. If any participant is there from Haryana, he will know there is e-Disha. Just like in Punjab, we have e-Sampark or e-Suvidha, there is an e-Disha. So he's a consultant to them. So friends, what I'm trying to harp upon is, whenever you conduct a research study or a sponsored study, more applicability of the project, more commercial utilization of the project, better it is. I'll give you one more example. So many examples, sir. The second session, deliberately I have kept to motivate my participants. If out of 188, I can see 188 participants, if even 50 of you get motivated and apply for a project, I think my day is made. I think all the trouble which Ashwini took
in listening to my tantrums and changing the schedule and all that stuff will be worth it. Okay, so I know I am very difficult to get hold of, right? But somehow I have some soft corner for Ashwini and Vikas, so I can't say no to them. Anyway, so friends, this is how I want you to move step by step. Now, there is another component, and this applies to those of my friends who shudder to apply, who feel no, I should not apply for a project. They don't reject, they go by favoritism, all that stuff. What do we do? I say, okay, just to build a confidence in you, please apply to ICSSR only for a research survey grant, only for data collection, nothing else, nothing else. So friends, you can get up to 1.5 lakh rupees per annum for data collection, typing, stenography, what all, data entry, statistical analysis, paper present, all that stuff. So you have not prepared a research proposal, you have not made any submissions, you have only asked for data collection. And if once you gain a confidence, you aspire, you go for a higher major or a national fellowship or a major project. So this is how these are, friends. This afternoon session is building blocks. How can you collect that? How can you create a karma out of it? So research survey grant. When can you apply? You can apply anytime. Research survey grant, I will especially recommend to all my faculty members who are pursuing PhD, who have an initial hitch that their principal will not relieve him or her for doctoral fellowship. So मैं क्या करूं? कुछ ना करो, आप अपना टीचिंग करते रहिए, साथ में जब रिसर्च का जो खर्चा आएगा वो आप यूजीसी से क्लेम, ICSSR से क्लेम कर दीजिए अंडर रिसर्च सर्वे ग्रांट. Again, it is contingency. You can purchase a laptop, you can travel, you can pay for submission of a paper or journal or monograph or book or anything. Then the last grant I will especially draw your attention is the dissertation publication grant. Dissertation publication. Friends, there is dearth of good books. Now that we are in the e-era, we do not get our books published. But still, the preference is towards published book. Then please apply for publication grant. This dissertation could be at MPhil level, could be an MA level, could be a PhD, could be postdoc, anything. They have set criteria, and I can't remember, but I think it is up to 50,000 rupees. You get money for publication. Ashwini ji, you assigned, in the morning you gave me one assignment. Now I will give one more assignment to myself on behalf of PCMA. Let us this year apply for the grant for publication of journals. Okay. UGC gives 1.5 years every 1.5 lakh every year for any journal. So Pooja madam, KCW yes, should also apply next year for its and you have every reason to get it, because you are you are into women's college, you are into minority college, every possible domain you cover. ठीक है जी. So
sir, I have a question, sir.
जी Vikas ji.
Sir, as a PCMA, can we also we are eligible for applying?
Yes. I am when Pooja was reading my biodata, she mentioned that I am editor of Indian Journal of Psychology. Indian Journal of Psychology is being run by Indian Journal of Psychology Association. So we get since it is since it is more than 10 years old journal, we get 2.25 lakhs. Since PCMA, I don't know whether it's 10 years. I don't
it's
think
more than 10 years, sir. It's more than 10 years.
More than 10 years.
But yes. No, after registration.
Yes, sir.
Yes, then after registration.
Then we should apply for 2.25 lakhs. वो बस यही चेक करते हैं आपके पुराने इश्यूज टाइम पे हुए कि नहीं, ऑडिट स्टेटमेंट्स हैं कि नहीं. आई नो यू आर ऑल वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट, सो यू कैन. सो लेट्स दिस ईयर अप्लाई. Normally they invite applications in June, but this year I don't know. But I'll follow it up with them. Let's apply for, because then it gets a different kick altogether if your journal is recognized by ICSSR so that yes, friends, any questions on any ICSR scheme? So similarly, if you have done an extraordinary work in PhD and you feel that you want to continue in that further domain, you do not want a postdoc, but suppose I have done some work on, say, international trade, and I want to use that information, that energy. Earlier I had done in horticulture, now I want to shift to, say, organic foods. So most of the work is an extension of my work already done. So please apply for award for PhD research. It gives you money for extending your work for which it has already been evaluated by a UGC recognized university. ये बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है सर, क्योंकि आपकी जो डिग्री है वो ब्लाइंड रिव्यू के थ्रू होती है. There has to be 3 examiners and all that stuff. So that means your work has been nationally acclaimed. So chances of you getting an award for PhD are research are very high. But please remember, the procedure is like this. You submit your thesis, soft copy of your degree, university awarding, because it mentions your date, year, all that stuff. So it's quite an exhaustive form, but it's worth doing it. Okay, one last comment on ISR to open for questions. Friends, there is a scheme known as, and I want all of you to apply, all of you to use this, is NASDOC, NASSDOC, NASDOC, National Social Science Documentation Center, NASDOC. This is an identity under ICSSR. Friends, there are 2 agencies in India which are into documentation of good work. One is INSDOC, Indian National Science Documentation, INSA, which is at INSA, INSDOC. There is another one which is NASDOC. Professor Ashwini must have used it, NASDOC. Actually, I used it for my PhD, so NASDOC, NASSDOC. What is this? Friends, NASDOC provides you a wonderful platform for getting those research papers or books or journals which you are unable to get. For example, I have got a research paper in Persian. I have got a research paper in Hungarian. I don't know that language. In Spanish, I don't know that language. And I have no way of translating that. Or it may have come in a journal which is not online. Possible, no? There may be some journal which is not online. Or paper is so old, at that time, online journals were not there. But it is worth reading, worth following. Then what do? Please apply to NASDOC. I think very nominal. If I'm not wrong, Ashwini, correct me. It is, I think, 2 rupees a page.
Absolutely.
1.5 or 2 rupees a page. So even if it is a 50-page document, you will get it for 100 rupees, which is less than the photocopying cost. So friends, please use this facility. This is a wonderful facility given by ICSSR. And if you have got a project by ICSSR and you need some accommodation, please apply to ICSSR. They will be more than keen to give you the accommodation also for data collection in case you have some work in Delhi, provided they have the space. So these are all the schemes of ICSSR. So in the first half, I covered UGC. Now I have covered ICSSR. So any questions on these schemes before I move to the international projects? Ji ma'am, Pooja or any speaker?
Sir, in the chat box, there are no questions I can see. If any participant has any question, please unmute yourself and ask.
I'm deliberately skipping the science because Ashwini ji told me this is social science audience. So Anybody from AICT? There must be AICT institutions because a lot of GNI, I can see GNIMT and GGIN. So a lot of there.
Okay. So, Pooja, should I continue?
Yes, sir. You please go ahead.
Okay, fine. So now, quickly, this may not be very useful to all the participants, but would certainly to those who are in technical institutions, All India Council Technical Education. There is a research promotion scheme. If you remember in the very introductory remarks, I said you need to have a PIN, PIN, project identification number, which is mandatory for all projects. It carries your name, your photograph in JPG format, your Aadhaar card, your appointment letter, a letter from your institution that you are working and all that stuff. In AICT, there is a faculty forum. There is a faculty registration. So my friends, my request, see, please remember, this is not only limited to those which are in AICT institutions. For them, it is mandatory. For them, it is mandatory. आपको तो आपके कॉलेज को तो आप सबकी फोटोग्राफ्स, इफ यू आर एआईसीटी इंस्टीट्यूशन, आपकी फोटोग्राफ्स, आपका बायोडाटा रेगुलरली अपडेट करना पड़ता है. बट दोज ऑफ अस हु आर नॉट इन एआईसीटी इंस्टीट्यूशंस, लाइक प्रोफेसर अश्विनी, right, he is serving in a technical subject, but in a non-technical institution, right? Or Vikas ji, who is serving in an autonomous or in a university setup, but not in a technical institution in a university. So people like you must register yourself under the faculty forum. Why? Lot of assignments are given to the faculty. What are these assignments? These assignments are blind reviews of the research projects, reviews of the educational institutions, field visits, surprise visits. Who will go there? It has to be by persons with impeccable character, integrity, and a stature in his or her domain. So all technical subject teachers may or may not be in technical institution, have a faculty forum. Am I clear, please? So my friends of commerce, management, architecture, if they are there, pharmacy, if they are there, please. Okay. So research promotion scheme. Friends, research promotion scheme comes under 3 different categories. If you have noticed my presentation, I'm doing it with a very systematic, stratified way of doing it, so that if you miss out somewhere, it's not linked to the next one. So you can be physically there and mentally somewhere else, no issues. So you can come back and write whenever you want. So research promotion scheme comes under 3 different formats. First is individual projects. I want to apply on my own. I want to do a project without any co-investigator or something. Please apply. Do it. It is known as category A. Category B is for projects at institutional level. Vikas ji, Gurcharan ji, 3-4 people join together, right? They apply together, right? Or 3-4 teachers in different colleges join together. Ram Gadia joins with KCW, joins with Atam Vallabh, joins with Kamla Lotia. 3-4 teachers join together and you create a project. Their upper limit is 25 lakhs. But I think big. Think big. Always think, always aim for the sky. You will not reach it. We all know we will not reach the sky. But you will not be hanging on the trees also. You will be somewhere up. So apply for a nationally coordinated project. Nationally coordinated project. For example, I am associated with a project. And whatever I'm saying is I'm giving you examples from real life. We have a wonderful platform initiated by this government, that is Unnat Bharat Abhiyan.
Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. What is this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan? We volunteer to upgrade 5 villages under an institution. So we pick up 5 villages and we try to transform. What are the areas under which Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, of which I am the coordinator for my university? What all we have done it, I'll tell you. You will be surprised and pleasantly happy. We found out that all these local artisans prepare a wonderful matka, pani wala matka. But people do not use this matka thinking that this is unhygienic. We talked to our friends in chemical engineering, and you know what we did? We gave an inner layer of carbon so that water gets filtered when it comes out. And we priced it at 150 to 100 rupees. Wonderful marketing. A local potter who was getting 50 rupees for a kada is now getting 150 to 100 rupees. And all of us are close to nature. I'll give you one more example. We said that some of the studies revealed that people in the rural belt, especially the elderly generation, is not very comfortable with e-payments. Even in my generation, we hardly rely upon it. So what do? Should I not introduce digital literacy at 50 plus? So we picked up these 5 villages, roped in my teachers of finance, and started. And you know where I went? We went to SEBI, Stock Exchange Board of India. We said, we want to do this. They said, okay, please do this digital literacy campaigns. They pay us 50 to 20,000 rupees per session. This is not the money for us. This is the money to make arrangements. So we have hired, what we have done? We have hired a tempo traveler types who takes 50 plus chairs and a table. We arrange samosa, tea. People are ready to come, listen and interact. We talk to the sarpanch. We take a time. जैसे वो गांव में एक बैठक होती है, सो हम 50-60 मिनट का बैठक करके वापस आ जाते हैं. There is a SEBI person who comes, prepares a video, he raises the bill, pays directly. We don't even touch the money. So if Pooja, it can be done at institutional level, can institutions work in isolation? Institutions require teachers to do it.
Yes, definitely.
And I was just reading, I don't know whether KCW has adopted 5 villages or not. If you have not, please do it. It's a wonderful platform of social philanthropy.
Sure, sir, sure.
So this is what I mean by nationally coordinated projects. And do you know what is the upper limit? No limit. It could be 5 crore, 10 crore, 15 crore. You submit a proposal. It could be for street lighting. Anything. Why think of only the rural belt? Why not cities, smart cities? For example, I want to monitor the quality of the life of people in Chandigarh post adoption of the smart city tag. Ludhiana is a smart city. Let us see, has there been any improvement in the quality of life of people before and after? What is the perception of people with regard to? Please submit a proposal to the Smart City India. They will be more than Ministry of Urban Affairs. They will be more than ready to take you as one of the project heads for Ludhiana. They want independent opinion other than that submitted by the government reports by government of Punjab or Haryana or Chandigarh. No, they want independent surveyors. And please remember, this is with the extreme delight, I will say, everybody has very high opinion on the integrity of teachers. Nobody ever I have come across who doubts the integrity of faculty. This is one of the few noble professions left. So please take advantage of this great USP we all have, the strength we have. Yes, my friends, any questions?
Sir, there was a question by one of the participants
जी जी.
who wanted that you should discuss the dissertation publication award in more detail.
Sure, sure. I will do it. Okay, madam. Can I then complete first AICT because
Yes, sir.
that
Yes, sir.
otherwise it will break the channel, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So, friends, suppose my college wants to apply for an innovative program, wants to start a new unit program, right? What do? You ask for grant. I remember Government College Ludhiana got MCom, if I'm not wrong, MCom entrepreneurship. SD College Chandigarh got MCom entrepreneurship and family business. So, and grant 7.5 crores. Now, suppose one option is that I create it at an institutional level. Second option is that I pick up a subject which is there on AICT website. And I want to modify that. I want to innovate on that subject. There is a wonderful program known as Innovations in Curriculum Design. This is known as OBE, Outcome Based Expectations, OBE. So what do? There is a syllabus available. You prepare its objectives, you prepare its learning outcomes, you prepare its course content, you prepare its assignment sheet, evaluation sheet. This is a wonderful platform. There is another scheme of AICT. This is only for technical institutions, so I don't know how many of will be able to gain. That is ModROPS. Modernization of obsolete equipment. Suppose we purchased 100 computers in our computer lab in 2010, P3, P4. It's outdated. It will not serve any purpose. What do? One option is the management pays from its pocket. Second option is please ask AICT to partly pay for it. So what will AICT do? AICT will give you money for creation of a new lab. Whole money minus salvage value of your old equipment. Upper limit is, if I'm not wrong, around 25 lakhs. Now, similarly, there is a travel grant and a seminar grant, as is in any other institution. Now, coming to a question by one of my participants who wanted to ask about the dissertation publication. Madam, दो तरह का हो सकता है dissertation publication award. One is that you have got your thesis. You have been awarded a degree. Award of degree means what? That means it has been properly evaluated. That it has passed through the rigorous process of blind review and justification in a viva. This is what we do for a research paper also. Am I right, Vikas ji? आपका
Yes,
पेपर
sir.
रिव्यू होता है. So thesis is also same. पेपर भी जो रिव्यू करता है आपके सब्जेक्ट का होता है, थीसिस जो रिव्यू करता है वो भी आपके सब्जेक्ट का होता है. So why should there be a duplication of efforts? So the ICSR, what does it do? It says, okay, submit a thesis, submit a soft copy, submit a copy of your degree. Why copy of degree? Because it will mention the university, it will mention the year, it will mention the discipline. So what will it do? Suppose it receives 1000 applications. It has to give only 75 awards or 100 awards. It doesn't reject anything. It creates a category. Those of the projects which are wonderful, extraordinary, evaluated, they are sponsored by ICSSR. So it's a publication by you and ICSSR. Fine. It is published by them. Second category, your project is good, but somehow it has not come in those 50 which ICSSR is publishing, but it is good. Then what does ICSSR do? It gives you certain grant to get your thesis published from your university. But please remember, which is this university? This is the university which has awarded you the degree, not the institution where you are working. Am I clear, please? Yes, sir.
Yes,
Any
sir.
other questions?
Yes.
Yes, my friends, any other questions?
Sir, I have a question.
Ji, sir. Ji, sir. Sir, today you are my question bank.
No, sir, I have a little bit anxiety, sir. So, like, sir, there are a lot of TQIP projects which are running in AICTs.
Yes.
And they keep conducting certain programs like certain IIMs and IITs. And there is a certain fee structure that this is free for AICT institutions, and for there is other some fees. So what is the status of for us, like for those who are working in universities, for those TQIP like capacity building programs?
Yes. Absolutely right. I'll tell you. Dr. There are two types of institutions under TechIP. Good that you have raised it. I don't know how many of us will be interested, but then it's a fairly good project of Government of India. And let me also share that this is a World Bank project. TechIP is a World Bank project. Two category of institutions are there in TechIP. I'm talking of the second phase. Currently, we are in the second phase. 1.2, 2.4. We are, I think, sorry, this is the third phase. We are in the third phase. First stage is when you apply and you get certain status on the basis of your publications, on the basis of your seminars, workshops, whatever. If your score is exceedingly well, you move to the second stage, right? And your grant increases. Suppose in the first phase it was 5 crores, then your now grant becomes 10 or 15 crores. You do very well in the second phase also, exceedingly well. You move to the third phase. Now, here is the chain. Those institutions which are in phase 3 are known as mentor institutions. Mentor institutions. And those institutions which are in stage 1 are mentee institutions. Stage 2 doesn't have any of these classifications. So, if you conduct a workshop, let me give an example. Punjab University is perhaps the only university in the country. Normally, one institution gets one TechIP. Punjab University is perhaps the only institution in the country which has got 2 TechIPs. Now, this is where marketing is important. This is where segmentation is important. Institutions, what do? They apply under the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Baat khatam. Faculty of Management, they apply. Khatam. At Punjab University, what is there? Faculty of Management is not only UBS. There is UMS also. Let UMS apply separate. But then the proposal has to be sector specific. Punjab University got 2 projects, very strongly prepared. Wonderful. One in the core engineering, second in chemical engineering. So you got 2. So both of them are mentors. So if you have to apply, my request to you is please apply to a project of the mentor and not to the mentee. So please do not apply to IIMs. Apply to Punjab University for its workshops, where faculty of IIM will come. Because then you are from a mentee institution into a mentor institution. But Punjab University teachers will apply to IIM because they are mentors. I hope I'm clear. I don't know how many of us understood this jugglery, but आपको पहले अपनी इंस्टीट्यूशन का करेक्टर देखना है, whether it is at stage 1, 2 or 3. जी सर. Any other question, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I have 2 more questions in the chat box. There's a participant, Harpreet Singh. His
Okay,
area-
Dr. Sahab, good afternoon. Good afternoon. He's from GNM IMT Ludhiana.
Harpreet sir.
No, he's not from GNIMT, sir.
Oh, okay. There is Professor Harpreet also there, no?
Yes, sir. He's also there.
Okay.
Sir, his area of specialization is agricultural research,
Okay.
and he
Wonderful.
wants to do a postdoc in that.
Oh, wonderful.
So he wants to know where should he apply.
Dr. Sahab, this is a very skeletal information you have given. But if I have to go by your interest, I think you are more keen on agriculture per se, rather than the applied aspect of agriculture. When I say applied aspects are agriculture marketing, agricultural economics, agricultural technology, that, right? So if your research is on agriculture per se, then I will advise you to apply to ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. But if you are keen on applied aspect of agriculture, then my request to you is you please apply to either UGC or ICSSR. So depending on what is your domain in which you want to work. I hope I
He's writing agribusiness.
Agribusiness. Oh, so sir, Dr. Sahab, then please apply to the UGC. Agribusiness is the UGC domain, and please apply under the project head management. Then you have to apply in management. The agriculture is only incidental. It's a sectoral study. Your focus is on management, where agriculture happens to be the sector. Management can mean any domain. So your domain is agriculture.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, there's another participant, Kuldeep Singh. He wants to know about the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan that you have discussed.
Okay.
So he says, can we take a project to uplift the basic development program at village level, such as pedestrian passage, sanitation of sewerage water, and solar lights, etc.?
I think he must have, when I was making a presentation, I distinctly remember I mentioned street lighting.
Yes, sir.
What I suggest is, Dr. There are 2 ways of looking at it. पहले तो मुझे ये बताइए कि you want to do this project under an NGO or you want to do it under your institution. If you want to do it under your institution, then there is a different mechanism. That mechanism is, please apply for 2 projects. One, to the Ministry of Rural Development and get a grant for street lighting and pathways and whatnot, because it is typically under the Ministry of Rural Development. Okay. Second, why rural development? Why don't you apply to Ministry of Food Processing? Think of something. I can name. Sorry, I am deviating. There is a wonderful project which Punjab University is taking up under Unnat Bharat. So I'm very passionate about Unnat Bharat. So my apologies if I speak more. We have a wonderful project by the name of Phulkari, wherein we take care of the rural artisans who manufacture Phulkari, Tille wali jutti, paranda, the dying arts, even the local music dialects and equipments. So that is the project we have. So sir, you please apply to Ministry of Rural Development for grant, but then it has to be very specific with deliverables and timelines. Please remember, Dr. You will have to prepare this proposal in consultation with the Sarpanch of that village and submit it to Ministry of Rural Development through the Department of Rural Development of your state. Second is, you want to provide an NGO support the way Punjab University is providing or the way Unnat Bharat is providing. Then, sir, you have to follow the route of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. I will share the link with Pooja madam. We have created a huge infrastructure office at IIT Delhi, which monitors, just Google in UBA IIT Delhi. You will get all those details, wherein you submit a proposal to IIT Delhi. Professor Shiva Ramakrishna, if I'm not wrong, is the in charge at Chandigarh level. Either you can send it to us or you can send it to Professor U.R. Roy. U.R. Roy. He's at NITTR Chandigarh. He's the local coordinator. Or you can send it to me. I will forward with my recommendation. So what we do is we do it at micro level. So suppose I want to undertake 2 or 3 hand pumps. Now this is a very minor project, 50,000, 1 lakh. Does not involve whole of the village. Only a cluster of houses are involved. So then I will advise that your college takes up this responsibility. But if you are into transforming whole of the village, then I will request you to apply to Ministry of Rural Development. So depending on nature of your project.
Thank
Yes.
you, sir. Sir,
Yes.
then I have a question from Ashish Gupta.
Okay.
Ashish says he's a JRF scholar, currently pursuing PhD in the area of organized retailing and wants to pursue postdoctoral in future. So he wants to know what should be his focus and how he can pursue about that.
If Ashish ji is JRF, then obviously his next target is SRF. Fine. Good that he has started thinking of 3 years hence. Ashish, let me share with you, postdoc fellowships are not easy to get. I'm not discouraging you, but postdoc fellowships, I'm giving you an unwritten law. Only, if I'm sorry for being so blunt, 1 in 15 get it. If it's a fresher. But if it's a faculty member, chances may be 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. Why? Because a person has a proven track record. So how can you compete with somebody who's a faculty? There is very easy way. That way is your Scopus publications. If in your PhD, I think 2 or 3 are mandatory. I don't know whether 3 or 2 are required. But if you have 5 Scopus papers out of your PhD, nobody can say no to you. Second, because 70% of your grading is on the basis of your resume. And 30%, out of 30%, 20% is on project and 10% is on presentation. If you extend your PhD work by incorporating new variables, enhancing the horizon of your work, your chances of getting postdoc are very high. And second, because of paucity of time, I don't know whether I will be able to cover it or not. There are large number of postdocs available in foreign countries. And I will be very keen if some of my students or participants who are students think in terms of doing a postdoc in a foreign institution. And I will ask you to try in those countries where there is dearth of researchers. Now your question will be, how will I find it out? Very easy, very easy. Find out number of faculty members in a particular department and number of PhDs enrolled. That's all. I'll give you an example. New Zealand, University of Wellington, Christchurch. There is more faculty than the researcher. Second way of finding it out, find out in your dream city, dream country, who has a project which is related to your area. Just write a mail to him that I want to have a space in your lab. Attach your resume. See, please remember, Indians have a tremendous goodwill abroad in terms of research. We are considered to be one of the best researchers. The conceptuals which typical Indian has in research methodology is unparalleled. Such workshops provide a platform for you to learn. And please remember, there is no wrong question. There may be a wrong answer, but question can never be wrong. So please explore. Vikas and Ashwini and Pooja, they have made arrangements, getting hold of some of the best people. So use this platform, and we are available to you. Another country which I will especially want you to focus upon is Denmark. They are also looking at France, looking at research in, and please एक मैं सारी बात छोड़ दूं, मैं अगर आप मुझे कहें कि आपके 2 घंटे के लेक्चर में मुझे एक लाइन बोल दो जो मैं, जिसको हम पंजाबी में कहते हैं ना, गुड बन लवा, राइट, जिसको मैं लाइफ में फॉलो करूं, that is, please remember, India not only has got a demographic dividend, it is also the second largest market. And it will continue till the year 2035. Person in my age group will not be there academically, but you all have that in mind. Please remember this. Think for a moment. After this COVID episode, I will not name a country, but we all know. There is bound to be movement away from a particular country or a cluster of countries. Where will they go? And do you think a businessman will invest in India without having any database? He's a typical businessman here. And do you think he will rely on government data only? He needs somebody who can give him a ground report. So these are exciting times for my friends in commerce and management. So lap onto this opportunity. And second, another thing. I was just reading around 10 days back, 15 days back. You know what is the problem with Japan and France? Most of the faculty is retiring and youngers are not joining faculty positions. Especially in sciences, there is hardly any researcher. Faculty has got a project, but no research student. But please, you have to move away from this typical mindset of Canada, US. That may be your dream destination, but later. So I hope I have answered his question, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one last question. There's a participant, Ayushi Arora.
Yes.
She's pursuing her PhD in management with the emphasis on online education. She does not have any JRF or SRF, but wants to avail of any scholarship if she can get.
Okay.
She's also a single girl child. She writes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. If you can just ask on my behalf, which is her domain, so that then I will be pinpointing that.
Ayushi, what's your domain?
And university also. Where is she working?
Ayushi, please respond.
Otherwise, my answer will be journal. Okay, then I'll give a general answer. No issues.
Yes,
no
sir.
Issues. Friends, there are large number of my colleagues, my friends, those who
It's
have
written
got...
Punjabi University, sir.
Achha, sir. Domain, sir? Subject?
I think she said
Management.
online education in management, sir.
Okay, fine. तो हमारी बच्ची हुई ना, ठीक है जी. Okay. See, Ayushi, there are, if I were to guide you, handhold you, I will advise you to immediately apply for Indira Priyadarshini Postgraduate Fellowship. Indira Priyadarshini. It is for single girl child. And I don't know, I may be wrong, I have no data with me. I think 3,500 fellowships are given. And amount ranges from 8,500 to around 18,000. It is not at par with JRF, but it's quite close to it. That is one thing. Second, my strong request is please apply for doctoral fellowship to ICSSR. Doctoral fellowship to ICSSR. And you are very lucky, last date for it is, if I'm not wrong, 30th of June. You have plenty of time. So please apply for these two projects immediately. What all you need? You just need an endorsement from your HOD and a documentary evidence that you are a single girl child. An affidavit will do, or whatever, ration card, or whichever document. So I think, yes, sir. Yes, Vikasji. Yes.
No, sir, nothing, nothing.
Okay, fine. Okay then. Should I continue, Doctor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir,
Okay,
please.
Fine. Please stop me because teachers are in the habit of continuing without a reason. So please stop me whenever my time is over, because I don't want participants to run away. So, okay. I'm skipping many of them, but they will be passed on to you through Madam Pooja. Okay, so I'm skipping this. I'm skipping. These are some of the wonderful fellowships. Those fellowships which I request all of you to kindly consider. One is the Commonwealth Fellowship. Commonwealth Fellowship is for postgraduate education and research. Indo-Canadian, details I will share with you later. Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative. Under this Indo-Canadian Initiative, let me see if I have another PPT. Wait. I think. No, okay. Sorry. I think I have lost my one PPT. Anyway, Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative. What is this? It provides you 3 types of fellowships. One is for short duration. You want to go and teach in some Canadian institution, ranging from 3 weeks to 3 months. Friends, in Canada,
Sir, I think link.
I think sir has sir video has audio link has gone, sir.
Let me check. Vikas ji, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Sanjeev is in, or
Sir, like I can't see his audio, but video is
टाइम आउट
muted.
नहीं हुआ, चल रहा, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ लिंक टूट गया, दोबारा कर लो.
I think sir yes relog in करना पड़ेगा sir.
हाँ, दोबारा लॉग इन कर लो, जूम आउट नहीं हो सकता. He is just joining.
Right, sir.
He is in now.
Hanji, sir. I'm just making him post. He's already posted.
Is he? There are questions on it.
नहीं अभी रहने दो मैम.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bye.
am I audible now, Doctor?
Yes, sir. Very much audible.
Sorry for the interruption. I think there was some issues with the bandwidth.
No issue.
It's working since morning now. Okay. It's okay now?
Yes, sir.
Give me a minute, sir. Let me have screen sharing. Okay, fine. Just give me a minute. Okay, fine. Okay, so we were discussing Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative. Quickly, I will recapitulate. Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative is at 3 stages. One is for a teacher fellowship program known as TFP, which is for a period of 3 weeks to 3 months. So you could either take a teaching assignment or you could join in some research project or go there to develop a course. Friends, there is an uncharted area where I want your attention, especially youngsters. Friends, Canada is very strong in community colleges. This concept of community college is very powerful in Canada. And India is also moving towards the NSQF framework, National Skill Qualification Framework. So if I prepare a proposal under Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative for a community college visit and finding out how are they managing and use the same logic in India, you have fairly good chance of getting this. So TFP is for 3 weeks to 3 months. Second is for collaborative ventures, collaborative projects. I have tied up, suppose I have tied up with a friend in Canada, right? We jointly apply for a research project. To whom will we apply? We will not apply to any individual agency. We will apply to Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative. ICSI will shortlist that proposal. Third is associating yourself with an ongoing ICSI project. And I'm very happy to share that the local president of ICSI is our Vice Chancellor, Professor B.S. Goman. So, and he has a favorable inclination towards us. So we have a wonderful platform of ICSI. Similarly, there is another very good, which I request you to pay attention, is United Kingdom Joint Research Initiative. We call it under the name of UCRI. Ye to all of my friends must apply. Must apply. I'll tell you where all you can apply. United Kingdom India Education Research Initiative. Please remember, they are not research based. They are developmental based. See, every way, all these schemes, the word is development. Nowhere the word is research. They want to develop educational leaders, educational managers. So there is an UCRI program, Higher Education Leadership Development Program, wherein you are trained in India and abroad in UK. Similarly, there is an AICT Technical Education Leadership Program. If you are teaching in technical education, please apply. There is a, yes, any questions, please?
No, sir, no
Okay,
question.
fine. Then there is a similar Colombo plan. There is a similar Asian Development Bank plan. There is an institution in AIT, Asian Institute of Technology in Bangkok, which imparts training to the teachers of technical institutions. Similarly, there is under UCRI, there is a leadership development program, wherein you are trained to be a future educational leader. If nothing else, we have faculty development programs and teacher development programs under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya training program. So these are the UCRI programs. See, if you notice, I started from a very broad base of UGC, AICT, ICSR. Now I am moving to sectoral specific programs. And they are much easier to get. And they are of much shorter duration. Rather than thinking of a 3-year period, I am now thinking of 3 weeks duration. Yes, any questions, please?
No, sir.
Now, that was with regard to development. Now I am moving towards the research schemes of UCRI. Again, now these are for longer duration. One is thematic research partnership. I am working, suppose I am working in the domain of, as my friend said, agri-business, right? I want to do something on agricultural marketing of organic farm produce. I want to learn the practices in UK. I want to make their field visits. I want to collect data from there. So please apply for collaborative project under thematic research. If it is science-based, then it is DST. If it is social science-based, then it is UGC. Then there is a MHRD Gyan collaboration, under which we are planning to invite our friend Professor Mahesh. He has been shortlisted. I think he has been, he wanted to come in June, but somehow because of this, we are not able to invite. Maybe he will join us next year. Is the Gyan program. Global Indian Academic Network, GIAN, Gyan program, wherein we can invite any international reputed researcher to come and stay with us for a week, guide, mentor our students and our faculty. What is the purpose? So that we are able to come out with an collaborative project. And then we have mid-career research fellowships. I am working for last 10 years. Most of the time I have been teaching. Now I want to go back to my roots of research. What do? I apply for a mid-career research fellowship, which is for a duration of 6 months to 2 years. And then, and this is especially true for those institutions which have got a research center, especially in the emerging areas, for creating an incubation center, which has got certain commercial value, certain philanthropic value, which could be in the terms of small scale, could be in terms of MSME, could be in terms of technical support, managerial support, techno-commercial analysis, project, anything. So research incubation center, like Punjab University has got 3 research incubation centers. So I think it's the high time when some of our affiliated and colleges also get incubation centers. So this is with regard to incubation. These are some of the international fellowships for students, which I will skip. I will give it to you, Pooja Madam. So I'm through with my presentation, Professor Ashwini. Any questions, any participants? See, I did not look at my watch, but see, it's after 30 years of teaching, I know how to plan my session. Thank you. And it's a wonderful opportunity given to me to interact with my participants. Thank you, Ashwini ji. I'm beholden to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, naturally,
sir, there are a few questions.
Yes, I'm open. You can extend it as long as you want. Yes.
The one participant wants to know what is the prospect of social science in foreign countries.
I don't know who is the person and in which domain.
The person is Daksh Sohal.
Dakshji, if you are pursuing your PhD, then my answer will be different. If you are a faculty, then my answer will be different. But I will generalize it. Please remember, I'm not saying something which is uniform, but most of the time, there is one uniqueness, and I'm talking of typical US and Canada, and most of the Scandinavian countries. Hardly any pay differential, whether you teach in a kindergarten school or you teach in a university. There's hardly any differential. You get almost same types of perks and salaries, irrespective of where you are teaching. Salaries and perks are paid on the basis of your qualification and not the nature of work you do. Am I clear? Second, if you could read between lines when I was making a presentation on international fellowships, what I said, most of these countries are facing a paucity of researchers. They are unable to get dedicated researchers. So what is the second best option? Outsource it. Some university in Japan, unable to do the research in Japan, will try to find out some university in India, give that project to Indian institution. Why? Because Indian students are not ready to go to Japan. They are not ready and they are not in a position because of their age factor to come to India. What will they do? They will outsource that research to some institution in Chennai or Chandigarh or Delhi or wherever. So mark my words, I'm a very keen observer. Most of the projects will move to India either directly or as an outsourced project. We did a tremendous work when the whole of the transcription, medical transcription was outsourced to India. So we know how the tricks of the trade. Next is the research being outsourced to India. So plenty of opportunities. If you want to go abroad, you can tailor your biodata accordingly. But more important than, please remember one simple thing, sir. Positioning is very important. As I said, you do not require AK-47 to kill a mosquito. You must know what do you want. Make a presentation accordingly. You know what we do? We float a biodata saying whomsoever it may concern. It doesn't concern anybody. Arey bhai, if I am asking for a research position, I must know the strength and weaknesses of that research lab. I must know who all are working there. What is their publication? What will be my growth in that institution? इतना तो सर हम ग्राउंड वर्क होमवर्क करके जाते हैं ना किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन में, but not in research. We float application in 200. And please remember, worst case scenario, Pooja, I'll share with you. Worst case scenario.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It actually happened with, I will not name individual, but you will make out. All of us will make out. Same research project with title change submitted to 4 or 5 institutions. And as bad luck would have it, one expert was in almost all committees. Bad luck. Sometimes stars don't waver, because what do you do? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That was the greatness of that research supervisor. He ignored it. Otherwise, it's a clear case of plagiarism. Clear case of plagiarism. That only shows the paucity of ideas. So, Pooja, I think
We need to teach them to think out of the box also.
Dr. Sir, tomorrow
Ashwini must have made some arrangements on ethics also. Na? They must have, Dr. Sir, you must have some session on ethics also.
we are going to have one session tomorrow on research ethics.
Oh, wonderful.
I would like to share one experience with you, sir. I was in Delhi conducting the interview for one great chain of colleges. And one candidate came and he presented that he has a publication in a very good journal in 2010 on housing finance.
Oh, okay.
And that happens to be my research paper, which were already published in India. And then I took it up very seriously, though we didn't file any FIR against that personality, but these are the certain issues which all of us must take care, because if you take the one piece of research paper for as a reference, that is good that you may mention it, but if you have taken the full research paper and published somewhere, because these days many organizations are getting and minting money for publishing the work. And I have seen there are so many publications which are even UGC approved journals, and they are charging money from the students. Even though UGC has issued a letter that if a paid journal is there, no credit should be given to that. So even if that is approved by the UGC. So kindly take care of this.
Dr. Saab, but I think this is a very gray area. Because see, by the time these journals get delisted by University of Pune, they come in under different name, and teachers like us recommend those journals.
We should not recommend.
I will not go by this thing that if it is paid, then it is bad. No. I differ. If even if it is a paid journal, but it is uniformly accepted and it has got a rigorous process of selection, See, ultimately,
Most of the general who are paid, which are paid, they are not going through the rigorous process.
yes.
They are just you submit in the evening. In the evening, you submit with your money, and within a week, that publication is there. So how-
Prasad, I'll only support your argument. See, if your work is good, na, you get recognized.
yes,
Like Vikas, whenever some session on research methodology is there, at least in Punjab University, Vikas has to be there. I have never met him personally, honestly, never met him personally. Now, if you remember, when I was giving example, I gave example of Tajinder. I know he's not here. Tajinder Sharma ji is not here. But in 2002 study on e-governance, if I have to evaluate how far-sighted that person must have been when he was only 31. 20 years back, 18 years back, he could think of e-governance. And don't you think such a proposal would have given him at least 2-3 jumps in his career? So my advice, strong advice to all my participants is, please do not get disheartened by small things. Arey, principal ne meri chutti nahi sanction ki, wo nahi. No, these are not the things. You will forget it next day. Think big. Do not ever get annoyed by small things. Oh, wonderful saying, na? Small people think about each other. Good people think about the process. Large people think about the future. Think future. You don't know what God has in store for you. No. I'll give you another example. A person joining teaching at the age of 52, Commander Grease Jaswal at Punjab University. Now, you will say 52 is an age where it's a retirement age. He joined. And today, he's a director at Thapar. So please, so research has no age.
So,
Sorry.
one last question that I have. It is from Kritika Sharma.
Okay.
She is very keen to know some details about the Indo-Canadian Shastri Fellowship. She is doing her PhD in tourism management.
Oh, wonderful.
And she is studying, she's doing a comparative analysis of India and Canada.
Okay.
So she wants to know, can she grab the opportunity of the Indo-Canadian Shastri Fellowship?
Yes. See, Indo-Canadian Shastri Initiative is a very vibrant, flexible project. It has no time durations. It has got no limitations, either in terms of money or in terms of time. But I do not know at what stage of her PhD she is. But if she has got only is at synopsis stage, let her prepare a project in such a way that there is an inbuilt feedback or data collection involved from Canada. And even if she is not at that stage, she has crossed that stage, she has already registered, she is collecting data. There is no harm in submitting a proposal to Indo-Canadian as an add-on. Say that I am doing this work, I want to further extend this work by taking the perceptual viewpoint of Canadians. So, third thing, if even that she feels little reluctant, let her apply for a project in the name of his guide and a fellow guide in Canada, where there is a provision for co-investigator. Let her be the co-investigator. Sometimes what happens is, friends, we are not mature enough. Our parents, our institutions do not have that confidence in us. Don't get disheartened. We all started one day, right? So please apply for a project in a related domain with your guide and an external there, with yourself being as a co-investigator. There is a provision for co-investigator. Some of my postdocs, when they were doing postdocs, they applied for Indo-Canadian and we made them as co-investigator. So that there's nothing like that. A student cannot be co-investigator. I'm talking of only Indo-Canadian. I'm not talking of all projects.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I don't think so. We have any more questions. So that's it for the day. Thank you, sir, for a very invigorating session. and guiding us to get grants from various bodies to carry out our passion for research more effectively. Your spirit to promote research culture among the participants has definitely gone well with them, and I'm sure many would have developed the zeal to utilize many of the grants that you have shared with us. It's always a pleasure listening to you at whatever topic is assigned to you, sir. We are all blessed to have this chance of listening to you here. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure is
Thanks
all
a lot.
mine, ma'am. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you, ma'am, for providing me the
Bye.
platform to share my views. Thank you, Vikas ji. Thank you,
Thank you
Ashwini
so much,
ji.
sir.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
madam. Special
Thank
thanks
you.
to you, Pooja.
Thank,
Dr.
thank you, sir.
Jupinder ji, good evening. I think sir is still muted. Sir is an old friend.
I'll unmute.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. 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 Thanks a lot, friends. Have a
Thank
safe-
you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Before we leave, we have some information for participants. Tomorrow we are going to have valedictory session, and all the participants will remain there on the screen. And secondly, the certification will be based now only on the valedictory session. If anybody is absent from the valedictory session, we will be unable to award you any kind of certificate for this purpose. So all of you are requested to join the valedictory session as well as the last sessions compulsorily, that we will start exactly at 3 p.m. and our program will be ended by 6:45 p.m. tomorrow. So second thing is, we have already your data. Certificate will be based on that. If somebody is requesting that his name is changed, that we will not be accepting, because already the name which you have submitted, on the basis of that we will be doing. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Punjabi University Patiala, Dr. B.S. Koman, will be delivering the validity address to all of you. So you have beared with us all the 6 days very qualitatively, very attentively. But now tomorrow will be the last day, and everybody will be there and joining this program as it is. So I hope you will enjoy, and we will meet again, time and again. Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you,
Vikas,
sir.
you can end the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.